Hello and welcome to the walking talking topic on cumulative frequencies and box plots, question number 3 with me, Mr. Barton. Now a fairly nice one here, fairly straightforward, but let's make sure we don't take anything for granted and let's get all our marks. Table gives a group frequency distribution of the arm lengths of 100 women. Let's just get that. Each measured correct to the nearest centimetre. There's all your details there. Complete the cumulative frequency table. Again, they've gone for this technique of giving us the upper bound, so just watch out if that comes up. But it's dead easy to read. That means what's the how many arm lengths are less than 158.5? Well, there's 5 between 156 and 158, so there's got to be 5 less than 158.5. Dead easy. Use that to help get you started. Then, how many are less than 161.5? Well, there are 15 between 159 and 161, so they're in the mix. And then you've got these 5 before, which is still less than 161.5. So that's going to be 20. How many are less than 164.5? Well, we have another 35 joining the gang there. How many are less than 167.5? Well, these lot are in the mix, so another 40 there, so I think that makes 95. And then how many are less than 170.5? An extra 5 makes 100, and that number there should always be the same as that number there, so things are looking up. On the graph paper, draw the cumulative frequency diagram to show the information. Once again, as in question 1, these are our upper bounds, these are our cumulative frequency, so let's just make sure we plot it and not mess it up. Have a quick look what your scale is. These go up in ones, and between each one we've got 5 little squares, so each little square is going to be worth 0.2. So if I want 155.5, that's going to be exactly halfway in between my 155 and 156. So I'm going to put a little dot there. 158.5, and that's got a cumulative frequency of 5. Tricky scale, this one. 161.5 has got a cumulative frequency of 20. Make sure you're plotting these really carefully. 164.5 has got a cumulative frequency of 55. That's slap bang in the middle of that square. 167.5 has got a cumulative frequency of 95. And 170.5 has got a cumulative frequency of 100. Let's try and join those up in a smooth curve. I got lucky in my first one. That's not too bad. I've certainly drawn worse than that in the past, so there we go. What's going on with part C? Use your cumulative frequency diagram to estimate the median and the interquartile range. Fine, let's take the money for this. So median is going to be halfway up my cumulative frequency total. My cumulative frequency total is 100, so I'm going to be going across at 50. I'm drawing the line on to show the examiner I know exactly what I'm doing here. And I'm dotting the line down. I'm marking that M for median. And I reckon that's 2 squares into my 164. So if each square is 0.2, I'm going for 164.4 for that. And what's my units? Let's really impress them here. Centimetres, it's arm length. Take the money for that. Interquartile range, so I need a lower quartile. That is a quarter of my total cumulative frequency. My total cumulative frequency was 100, so I'm going to need to go across at 25 until I hit my curve. So there I go there. And once I hit it at 25, down I go, and I'll mark that as lower quartile. For once, that's quite a nice one to read. That's 162 by the looks of that, so let's make a note of that. 162 centimetres. Going to need an upper quartile now. That's going to be 3/4 of my way along. Up my cumulative frequency, 3/4 of 100 is 75. As I said before, some people like to say the median's 50, the lower quartile is 25, so your upper quartile you go across at 75, adding them together. Whatever works for you is fine by me. And let's just drop that down there. That's me upper quartile. That seems to be 1 square into my 166, so each one is 0.2, so I'm going to go 166.2. My interquartile range is my upper quartile, take my lower quartile, 166.2, take off 162, excuse me, which if my maths is right, is 4.2 centimetres for that one. Use the graph paper below to draw a box and whisker. Now I quite like this one because there's no scale marked on them, therefore people could be tempted to do horrendous kind of things here. You don't need to bother with a scale going up on the y-axis for box and whisker. All we need is an x-axis scale. So let's just make sure we get everything in there. How low do we go down here? Well, the lowest is 155.5. What's our biggest one? Well, let's go to our upper boundary, 170.5. So let's just make sure our scale has all those things on there. So if I maybe start at 155, and let's just count and see if I can get them all on. 155, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think that's going to be fine. So I'm going to start it down here at 155, and then each one I'm going to go at 156, 157, 158, 159, 160, 161, and now, yeah, I might as well, if I've started, I'm wishing I've missed out each other one here, so I won't have to write as many flipping things, but I haven't, so let's keep going. 167, 168, 169, 170, 171. What am I going to need to go up to? Yeah, 172. That's going to be fine. Going to need some units for that down there, so that is arm length, and that's measured in centimeters. Okay, so for my box plot, I'm going to need a minimum, I'm going to need a lower quartile, I'm going to need a median, I'm going to need an upper quartile, and I'm going to need a max. Now my minimum and maximum, all I can do is go off my information here. This is telling me that I've got no things lower than 155.5, so I'm going to assume that is as low down as I'm going to get, 155.5. And this is telling me that everything is underneath 170.5, so all I can do is really assume that they're my minimum and maximum. 155.5, 170.5 for that one. My lower quartile, well, I'll work that out there, that's 162. My upper quartile, 166.2. And my median was 164.4. So all I've got to do is draw those on now. And as I said before, it doesn't matter the height of your box plot at all, just keep it consistent. So I'm going 155.5, so halfway in that group. Draw a line there. Lower quartile 162, we'll have a line there. Median 164.5, let's pop ourselves a little line there. Upper quartile 166.2, so if there's 5 things in between, each one's going to be worth 0.2, so let's draw that in nice and neatly there. And a maximum of 170.5, slap bang in the middle of that. There's my box plot. Join him up and help myself to some pretty nice marks. Let's just have a look here for that one there. Oh, just got to figure out how I stop the video.